Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Naveen, and today we'll continue with our series of CAT 2025 Target 99 Plus Percentile. And this is going to be the LRDI Basics Part 10 of this series. Like every other series, we are going to look into one of the LRDI sets. It could be a puzzle-based, it could be a grid-based, it could be a games and tournament-based. So today we are going to look at miscellaneous or unconventional games and tournament based set. Okay, so be prepared. 5 players participated in a race tournament. 5 races were held in the tournament such that in each race exactly 4 players participated. Every player participated in equal number of races. The winner gets 10 points, first runner-up gets 5 points, and second runner-up gets 2 points. The player who comes last does not get any point. There were no ties in any race. The table below gives the number of points scored by each player at the end of the tournament. Basically, there are going to be 5 races. Let's say in the first race, T did not participate. In the next race, let's say S did not participate. In the next race, let's say R did not participate. In the next race, let's say Q did not participate. And in one of the races, P doesn't participate. So we end up having 5 races in which each player participated in 4 races. So basically they can score 4 points, or they can score it 4 times. Now, when somebody comes first, that person is awarded 10 points. When somebody comes second, that person is awarded 5 points. Somebody who comes third is awarded 2 points, and somebody who comes fourth is awarded no point. So in each race, there are going to be only 4 positions because only 4 people are racing. So somebody should get 10, somebody should get 5, somebody should get 2, somebody should get 0. That's one thing to understand. Another thing to understand is in every race, somebody is going to come first. Since there are 5 races, we should see 10 5 times. Also, somebody should come second. So that means 5 points should also come 5 times. In each of the races, somebody is going to come third. So that person is going to get 2 points. Since there are 5 races, we should see 2 5 times. And 0 should also appear 5 times because in each of the races, somebody is going to come last. Now, before we try to get into more detail of out of this table and what is happening, let's look at the questions. The first question says, which of the following players cannot finish last in any race? So cases, which of the following players cannot be the player who did not finish last in any race in which he participated? Cases. Question number 3, if every player won at least one race. It starts with if, cases. Same goes for question number 4. So we should be prepared that there are going to be cases. They are not going to be direct. Well, if we look at the participants here, we have got players P, Q, R, and S. Now P gets a 20. Q gets a 19, R gets a 17, S gets a 14, T gets a 15. Right? So in how many ways we can have 20 from 4 values at most? So we can have 20 when 4 fives are there, 5, 5, 5, 5. As in P may have participated in 4 races, and in each race he came second. He was awarded 5 points. So that his total sum of points is 20. Very much possible. If you look at Q, if you continue with P, it's also a possibility that 20 can be from using 10, 5, 5, or it may be 10, 10. So basically 20 can be formed when we take 4 5s, or we take a 10 and 2 5s, or when we take 2 10s. If you look at 19, 19 can happen if we take 3 5s, that is 15, and then we need another 4, so that's going to be 2 2. But the thing is, no player, as in Q, did not participate in 5 games. So that means we cannot have 3 5s and 2 2s possible, because that will mean 5 games. 19 is going to be possible if we take a 10, a 5, and then 2 and 2. Is there any other way to get a 19? Well, using 4 numbers in order to get a 19, it's not a possibility. So Q is going to have a possibility, which is going to be 10, 5, 2, and 2. This is the only way by which we can have 19. Well, if we try, there may not be a scenario where we can have 19 made up of twos, more twos, because then we will have more than 4 matches for 19. Next, if you look at 17, 17 we can have is when we will have 3 5s and a 2. Or if we convert 2 5s into a 10, so this is going to be 10, 5, and a 2. So we can see that 17 will definitely have a 5 and a 2. The leftover 10 points may come from directly one single 10 when R would have come first, or maybe 2 5s. So this is something that we are not sure about. If you look at SS points, which is 14, now for 14, we can have 2 5s and 2 2s, or we can have a single 10 and 2 2s. So we can see that 2 2s are going to be definitely from 14. So, okay, my bad. We are supposed to have 5 people. The fifth one is missing. So let's bring in one more row. So S is 14 and T is 15. So if we look at 14, we will definitely have 2 2s, right? And if you look at 17, there is definitely going to be single 2. So 5 2s are done. So we are done with 2s. Okay. And if you look at 17, there is definitely also going to be a 5. So we're done with 1 5. Next, if we look at 15, 15 we can have by taking 3 5s, or we can have a single 10 and a 5. So which means we are going to have cases. In the case of 15, we will definitely have 1 5, right? And in 17 also, we definitely have 1 5. Since we need 5 5s, 20 cannot have 4 5s, because if I write 4 5s, so 4 5s, fifth 5, 6 5, 7 5, we will have tons of 5s, right? So this is not going to be possible. So we can only consider those scenarios where we are going to have 2 5s. Now 2 5s we can have is using 10 5 5, right? Or this is going to be 1 2 3 4 5. So we are done with 5s. Now 17 we can have 10 here. So basically it's going to be 10 5 and 2. We have 2 2s, so we are going to have 10 2 2. And we have a total of 4 10s. We need one more 10. So this is the fifth one. So 5 10s, 5 5s, and 5 2s. The other possibility that we can have is if we take 2 10s here, for 19, it's 10 5 2 2, that is fixed. For 17, we will definitely have a 5 and a 2. For 14, we will definitely have 2 2s. So all the 5 2s are taken care of. Right now, we have 3 10s and 2 5s. Now, we can have 10 from R, 10 from S, which is 14. So that's 5 10s. And the last one, we can have 3 5s. So this is one possibility. Another possibility we can have is we had these for sure, right? The next one is what if we do not have 10 from R? What if we have fives from R? So there are 4 5s so far. 3 10s are done. We can have our fourth 10 here. We can have our fifth 10 and the fifth 5. So this is another possibility. Next is we can have 1 2 3 4 5, or we can have that combination. Next is if we take 2 10s, this is going to be 10 5 2 2, and we are definitely going to have 5 and a 2 from 17. We are going to have 2 2s in the case of 14, and then we can have a 5 from 15 for sure. Now, if you look at 14, we have already taken care of 10 2 2. Let's look into when we have 5 5 2 2. So if you count the number of fives, this is already 5 fives. So we can have a 10 here and we can have a 10 here, so that we will have 5 10s, and the sums also make sense. So we have considered all the possibilities. One, where P is made up of only single 10. In that case, everybody gets a 10. Second case and third and fourth case where P always gets 2 10s. Q gets 10 5 2 2. And R, S, and T, they improvise accordingly, depending upon what R takes, S and T will take accordingly. So we have these 4 possibilities. Sorry. Let's look at the questions now. Which of the following players cannot finish last in any race? So can P finish last in any race? Yes. Can Q finish last in any race? No. Q has participated in 4 races, and each race he was first in one of the races, second in one of these races, and third in 2 of the races. So Q is the guy who cannot finish last. Second, which of the following players cannot be the player who did not finish last in any race in which he participated? So who did not finish last? So if we look at P, he can be that player, right? Who finished last? He can be. So question asked is cannot be. So P is not going to be the answer. Next, we have got Q. Can Q be the guy who finished last? No, he cannot be, right? So he cannot be the player who finished last. The question is asking who did not finish last. So Q cannot be the guy. Let's look at R. Can R be the guy who did not finish last in any race in which he participated? No, he cannot be that guy. Let's look at S. Can S be the guy who did not finish last? So since the question has 2 negations, what we can do is we can write it like this. Which of the following players can be the player who finished last in any of the races in which he participated? So basically what we are told is there is always going to be at least one race where the person came last, which means there is definitely going to be, at least one scenario where there are going to be 4 points awarded to that person. So let's say P, he is awarded 10 10 5 5, let's say. So if he is awarded 10 10 5 5, that would mean that he will never come last, right? Somebody who is awarded only 3 numbers, let's say 5 5 2, then there is going to be one race, which is the fourth one, wherein he is going to come last. So the question is talking about that thing. Okay. So there are actually 2 negations here. Which of the following players can be the player who finished last in any of the races participated? So if you look at P, if 10 5 5 is a possibility, then there was a fourth match where P received 0. That means he came last. If 10-10 was the case for P, there were two matches in which he came last. So P is that guy who came last in any of the races that he participated. Definitely. If you look at Q will never come last. If we look at R, there is one scenario where R cannot come last. If we look at S, there is one scenario where he cannot come last. T is another person who can come last in any of the races, but T is not mentioned in the options. So we will not take T. Right. Next one. If every player won at least one race, which means in the points awarded to every player, there should be a 10 in everybody's scenario. This is only going to be possible in this. There is a 10. So everybody came first in one of the races. Then which of the following is definitely true? P was the winner in two races. No, P was the winner in only one race. Everybody came first once. So obviously not true. Every player was first runner-up in at least one race, which is another way of saying everybody got a 5, at least 1 5 in every race. Well, no, S doesn't get a 5. So false. Next, only one player was able to score in all races in which he participated. Well, that is true for Q. So C is true. Next one. If one of the players finished at the same position in exactly 3 races, so basically the person must have got 10, 10, 10 or a 5, 5, 5 or a 2, 2, 2. So the only possibility is going to be this one. Such that finished at the same position in exactly 3 races. There is no other combination where the same digit, same point, so same number is written 3 times. So we are talking about this scenario. Then which of the following can never be true? Can never be true is like saying is false, right? P won exactly 2 races. This is true. T did not win any race. This is true. We have to find out false. C, R did not win any race. R did win a race. It's a 10-5-2 combo. So none of these. So you can see that this was an interesting set. Little time consuming because we had to figure out first step, what are the possible combinations to get these points? And the second case, between these 5 players, how that combination will turn out. So there is going to be a certain order in that. Always pick one scenario, find out what other possibilities we can have. Once you have exhausted all those possibilities, then move to the next scenario. That's exactly what we did here. We started with 10-5-5 and then follow through. Well, I hope you liked this set. This was a nice set, little time consuming and completely at par with the CAT exam. Well, thank you for watching. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't yet. Share it with your friends. I'll see you guys again very soon with another set of LRDI. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.